Hello, do you want to start a school but you don't have the money? So I have some great ideas for you. In this video, I'm going to share with you 28 things that you can do to raise capital for your school. Because if you're passionate about opening a school and the only thing stopping you is lack of funds, then I'm going to give you some ideas through which maybe perhaps you'll be able to arrange the funds required to open a school. Because to set up a school, the money, where does the money go? One, in your land, in your building construction, interior work, launching your school, and some working capital, means from the launch of your school to the day you reach break even. So how do you set up a school if you don't have sufficient funds? Number one is change the model. Normally people are fixed, I want to open a 10+2 school. But if you don't have the money, then you can open a primary school. If you don't have the money for a primary school, you can open a preschool. If you don't have a preschool, you can open a creche. So you can open different model of school, and later on, once your school picks up, you can start upgrading yourself. Under the Startup India offer from the government of India, do you know they are giving you easy loans up to 10 lakh rupees without any collateral? So just Google this Startup India, and there are different options from 2.5 lakhs to 5 lakhs to 10 lakh rupees as well. You can also go in for unsecured loans. Today there are a lot of unsecured loans that are available. So based on your credit history, if you have a clean credit history, you can apply for an unsecured loan and raise the capital from there. You can also give a business loan. The difference between a business loan and an unsecured loan is that business loan you have to prepare a project report, show the financial institution, preferably a bank, this is how you're going to set up your school, this is how you're going to make money, and they should have the confidence that you are going to repay them. So this will be a way to raise capital. Another way is to get a partner along. Sometimes if you have, as I said, the major components of investment are land, the building, the working capital, setting up the interiors, and also the passion that you're putting in. So if you have the land perhaps and you want somebody to join you as a partner, but you're giving your time, so land plus time you're offering, somebody else can offer you the money. If you already have the building but you're looking for somebody for interiors and working capital, then you can say, I have the building, I have the land, I'll be putting in my time, can you join me? So based on that, you can create a valuation what should be the percentage as well. So get a partner for yourself so that you don't have to stretch your funds. In fact, SIDBI has a Make in India soft loans fund for MSMEs. So you can apply for this. It's called Smile. Please Google this, SIDBI and Smile. You should get the details of that. You can get a loan at a reduced interest cost. You can also borrow from friends and family if you require funds. But if you're passionate about your project, you know what you're doing, then this could be a great source of raising money for your project. Now what happens is, keep in mind a few things I can tell you. Every business comes with loss. Every school is not risk-free. There's no project in this world which is risk-free. The smartest of minds have failed at projects. So what happens is, when you borrow from friends and family, please tell them that if 10%, 5% the project does not do well, how do you plan to repay the money? After 4 years, 5 years, you will work and you will repay them. Do that, because sometimes what happens is people take loans from friends and family, the project doesn't work out, and then the relationship gets spoiled as well. So tell them, give them a realistic idea of the risk. How are you going to cover them? That you're doing your best, you're trying not to lose their money. But if this happens, this is your plan as well. So don't let the relationships get spoiled with that. But also understand your friends and family are not money lenders. They are there to help you, and they'll gladly help you out if they can see the success in your eyes. Another way to raise capital is to get a loan against property. Now if you have some land and property lying around, you can approach the bank and get a loan against it. It's called LAP, loan against property, and that money you can use to set up your school. Even in the building that you are currently going to set up your school, if you already have that building with you, you can take a loan against that. Another way is to put in systems in place for your school so that you don't have to leave your job. So you can keep your job, and from the salary that you're earning, you can fund your school for the initial few months till the school reaches break even. There's another scheme by the government called UDAN for micro and small enterprises. This is again by the government of India and SIDBI. So again, you search for SIDBI, UDAN, and you might be eligible for them. These are different schemes, have different eligibility, ranging from 10 lakh rupees to up to 2 crore rupees, and some of them don't require any collateral as well. So government of India has many options. Please look into it. Your biggest outflow when you're setting up your school, if it's not your own property, is going to be the rent. The rent is going to be the biggest outflow in the first few months. So if you want to minimize your outflow, what you can do is, instead of going for a rent, you can decide a percentage of the school fees as a rental for the landlord. So the landlord, you tell them that okay, I cannot pay you a rent, but I can give you say 20% of the school fees. It will go as your rent component. Now not every landlord will agree to this, but those who are very positive about the school sector, they like this school sector, they can join hands with you. There's also a Stand Up India scheme. Now this is something a lot of people don't know. They know Startup India, but there is Stand Up India because the government of India is trying to encourage young entrepreneurs. So please Google this and apply for this. It is not very difficult, and you should be able to get some funds for your school. Another way that you can what you can do is to raise capital is to start not in a third party location, not on a rented premises, but in your own house. And you can start small with something like a daycare or a creche, and then gradually increase your school. Once you have the revenues coming in, you can show people that my school is doing well. You are the confident. Then maybe you can go to a bigger property, a rented location. In fact, there's one more scheme by the government called the Prime Minister's Rozgar Yojana. So check this out. Again, search this. Again, they have easy loans for startups, for entrepreneurs as well. Sometimes you can get a line of credit. If you're already in a business, you can get a line of credit from banks, from your suppliers as well. Sometimes suppliers are willing to take payments on a later basis if they want to help you out. So explore this. The vendors who will be setting up material for your school, maybe they can give you extended payment plan. So if you have to pay them a few lakh rupees for the furniture, equipment, maybe you can ask for a deferred payment plan, a line of credit from your suppliers. They may give it to you because if they're positive about it, they want to sell, they want to give your goods to you, and if you can offer them a deferred payment, it can work for you. There's also an option called the Mudra Yojana scheme. Did you know there were so many schemes? These are for new entrepreneurs to help them to finance their projects. So please explore this option as well. So Google these names. I'm not going to get into details. It will be a very long video. But I've told you these options are there. All you have to do is Google it, find out and apply for it. Also, you can change your location. Sometimes what happens is when you go to a smaller location, the investment requirement is much less. And you might find that if you change the location, the investment for a school comes within your budget. So if you're opening in a metro city, go to a tier 2 location. From tier 2 you might want to go to a suburban location, from a suburban to a rural location. Who knows? By changing the location, you might get to set up a school with less investment. There's a new breed of investors called angel investors. What angel investors do is they invest in very early stage schools. So if you can make a business plan, show the investor how you're going to grow your school, how you will make money, and how they will get their return on whatever they're investing. So you can pitch for this. So there are many organized ones like Mumbai Angels, Delhi Angels as well. Reach out to these associations or just Google for angel investors in your area, and I'm sure you'll be able to find them. Also, you can reach out to big businessmen who are there in your town and see if they're interested in setting up a school, because sometimes people want to encourage entrepreneurs and they want to set up schools in the area because they know it leads to a better education, a better future for their community. So reach out to businessmen, entrepreneurs in your area and see if they want to join your school as an investor. One of the things you can do is you can partner with a formal school. So for example, if you are opening a play school, now there's a formal school and they may want to set up a feeder school. So you can join hands with them, tell them that you will use their name, but you will put the effort to run the whole school as per their standards. So for a formal school, setting up a play school is peanuts. But what they are more worried about, how will I manage? Because managing each school takes time. Sometimes a main school might have a small town or a village nearby, maybe 8-10 kilometers, from where the older children are coming. The younger children are not coming because the younger children, parents don't want to send them too far off. So there will be a case for setting up a feeder school. Now you can ask them to invest, use their name, and you put in your effort, and you can get a percentage of the revenue as your share for efforts. You can try this model out. You can also try crowdsourcing. This is a new thing that has happened. There's a website, for example, like Kickstarter and many other websites where you can arrange to raise capital from general members of the public who believe in your model. If they believe in it, they'll invest in your school. You can give shares to your staff members, because initially after rent, the biggest outflow of money from your school is going to be your staff. So why not give them some share and reduce their salary and say, okay, I can only pay you this much, but as the school grows, you will have some share in the profits of the school. So that way you can reduce your initial burden and make your school manageable. You can also try and get a salary advance from your employer. If you have a good standing, you've been working in your company, wherever you're working for quite some time, you can ask them for a salary advance as well. So a lot of companies do this, they give an advance against salaries. Apart from bank loans, of course, we've talked about bank loans, there are NBFCs, non-banking financial companies. Now what they do is they give loans, but the interest rates are higher, typically about 11-12%. I know this is high, but at least you get some funds. They invest in higher risk projects, and there are many of them, traditional NBFCs. There are websites as well, online websites, where you can apply online and they give the loan instantly, so you can reach out to them as well. One of the other ways, which is slightly expensive but doable, is a credit card advance. If you are possessing some credit cards, you can get a loan against that. You can max out your credit limit and get some more funds against your credit card, because if you built a good credit history over years, that can be a source of money for you. You can join an existing school as a partner. So if a school is there, you notice it's there in your area, you feel by your contribution, by your work, the school can grow more. So you can approach them and say, hey, I could do this for you, I can do this, let me put my effort, I'll put my passion, these are my skill sets, this is my history, and I know with my efforts the school will do well, and can I join you as a partner? And maybe somebody is struggling, the school's not doing well, they might want to get you on as a partner, and you can offer them kind of a deal where if the revenues don't go up, they don't pay you a single rupee. Also for women entrepreneurs, finally, for women entrepreneurs, there are some other schemes which a lot of people don't know. So a lot of banks and institutions have schemes like this. So you can reach out to there's a Sri Shakti package there's from SBI, even Dena Bank has it, from Central Bank of India, the Oriental Bank of Commerce has some schemes as well. So and lastly there's a Udyogini scheme. This is the last one. This is from the Karnataka State Women's Development Corporation, Punjab and Sindh Bank, Saraswat Bank, and Bajaj Finserv. The last one is Udyogini scheme. So these are schemes by the Bharatiya Mahila Bank, which has now been taken over by SBI, of course. These are all schemes that are available for women entrepreneurs. So please reach out to them, and there are options over there in the market, and you can reach out to them and try, and you'll get funding very easily, because banks are told to finance women entrepreneurs. So they already have to, it's a part of their mandate. So if you approach them, they'll be happy to have you, and if you can show a project. And many of these schemes for women especially, they mention play schools, daycares and creche as one of the areas they want to invest in. So there's a lot of money available, but you have to go out there and reach them. There are business incubators as well. So what these incubators do is they give you a working environment. They take care of your administration, day-to-day fixed cost, so that you can focus on what you do best. So just search for business incubators, see what their offers. Different incubators have different offerings. Some of them give mentorship, some of them just give the back-end office, some of them just give an office space, some of them give things like accountancy, legal, HR support. Different incubators have different options. Search for one in your area and maybe you might find something interesting. Finally, every state has some options for funding as well. Just like the central government has got so many schemes, I'm sure you didn't know that there were so many schemes available. Different states have different schemes. Like for example, Kerala has the Kerala Self-Entrepreneur Development Mission. Maharashtra has the Maharashtra Center for Entrepreneurship Development, Rajasthan Startup Fest. There are things like this which are there in your area. Just search for it, and I'm sure you will find something which will help raise capital. I hope these ideas were good for you. If you like this video, please do like it. And if you're serious about opening a school, then join me in my webinar, in which I will tell you the A to Z of what it takes to open a successful school. Interested? Click on the link below. There's a link below, register for it. And if any of these ideas have made sense for you, do write down in the chat, in the comment section. I'd love to read which one you think is practical for you. And if there's anyone I forgot, please also mention in the chat box if there's any idea that you feel I've not talked about but is there to raise capital for entrepreneurs. Do mention it. Maybe I'll include this in my next video as well. Thank you so much for watching, but before you go, subscribe to this channel and also click on the bell icons, so that whenever I post a new video, you're the first one to be informed.